His name is Gareth, and he riffs bits. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gariffs.
Welcome to Gariffs. This is, the best thing I can call it is improvised stand-up. That's what this is, improvised stand-up. You guys send in suggestions. I don't see any of them until I start. I see them for the first time. We talk about them. We riff. It's great. It's great stuff. That's why it's called Gariffs. It's cute. It's very funny. So that's the deal. Very quickly, thank you to everybody who donated last week. Thank you to everybody who donated last week. We raised, $17.48, which is pretty good. So that apparently provides 1,748 meals. I'm a human calculator. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I have merch available. If you'd like to buy merch, go to my website, GarethReynolds.com. You can figure that out. And then, what else? Yeah, I think that's it. So let us begin. The first segment is news. We call it Riffs Just In. Okay, so these are news stories I've never seen until now. There's two. I get to pick one. So let us see what we have here. Oh, I can't even read that. Okay. Russian Orthodox Church considers ending blessings for nuclear weapons. An Arkansas farmer disguised himself as a woman to sneak into a cemetery and deface the grave of his longtime nemesis with animal carcasses, police say. We're going to go with the Arkansas farmer one. I just want to make sure I got it. Okay, so this Arkansas farmer disguised himself as a woman to sneak into a cemetery and deface the grave of his longtime nemesis with animal carcasses. There's a lot of good stuff in there. First of all, Arkansas, this had Florida written all over it, so I think Florida could probably sue Arkansas for copyright infringement. But also, the idea of just dressing up like a woman, apparently there's quite a security system at this cemetery. One where you must go in like a Tom Cruise-esque Mission Impossible disguise. And then, obviously, the idea that he has a current nemesis is fantastic. The fact that nemesis is in the headline lets you know it came from him, right? Because otherwise, that wouldn't be in the headline. They'd be like, this fucking guy dressed up like a girl and threw carcasses at a grave. They don't even say enemy. They say nemesis. So this is this guy's sworn enemy. And then the capper is this gentleman decides his revenge involves just tossing animal carcasses. He just defaced the grave with animal carcasses, which says to me, when can this guy just spray paint is so much easier, and PETA approves of it so much more than actually taking animal carcasses. What animals, too? Why not? There's just simpler. You don't need animal carcasses. You could simply have an animal carcass. You could simply, you could just have some blood, unless it's skunks. I don't know what the deal is. But that's how you treat a nemesis. Also, whatever happened to revenge on the living? Isn't the nemesis relationship gone after death? Who keeps it going? Who's like, God damn it, I don't care that Greg's dead. I still fucking hate him and we're sworn enemies. Just like that. Is that how that's supposed to work? I feel like once they die, it's a truce. I don't think you can keep it going. God damn it, that Greg guy, he's dead to me. Yeah, well, he's dead to all of us. Yeah, well, now that he's dead to all of us, I'm having my revenge. Just attacking Greg's carcass just as a woman. There's a lot to love here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to stick on it so long. But goddamn. And the nemesis from the grave was like, God damn it. He won. The other guy won. No. There's nothing you can do. You just got to sit there and get teabagged. Oh, no, he's dipping his nuts in my skeleton head. Ah, ah, he got me good. Boy, do I have egg on my face, which is skinless. So, great first story. It's exciting. And also, kudos to Russia, too. That's awesome. Okay, so that's the first one. We get 2 of these. Let's see what this one is. Okay, we've got James Blunt ate nothing but meat to prove how manly he was, then got scurvy. Ireland under attack from extremely aggressive seagulls spreading E. coli. They're both great. First of all, what's manlier than getting scurvy? I mean, that's the pirate disease, right? You don't get more manlier than pirates, right? I mean, pirates died every day. So, to get scurvy now is hard. That should be a reality show. Who can get scurvy? Just give everyone, the winner gets $100,000. All I know is you're eating rotting meat and no citrus. Outside of that, I don't really have much advice. But that's not the one I want to talk about. I would rather talk about these seagulls that are getting extra aggressive. Seagulls getting extra aggressive, making an Ireland paper headline tells you that these seagulls are being fucking dicks. Okay? Seagulls are always aggressive. That's their deal. I don't know what a gull is, but they hang around to the sea all day. They're just looking for scraps aggressively. So the idea that they're getting that aggressive is scary, but maybe they're mad from E. coli. But this is what happens. Nature is coming back at us, finally. We're starting to see it. We've got fires, we've got floods, there's starvation. Seagulls are attacking people with E. coli. How does a seagull get E. coli? They're birds. Isn't it? Does it come from birds? Can they get E. coli? That's what I guess they can, apparently. But I thought, did they just eat some uncooked chicken? Were they just hanging around uncooked chicken breasts? How did the gulls get it? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I would love it if James Blunt would eat some of this gull meat, mix up his diet a little bit, see what he gets, let the E. coli and the scurvy sort of battle it out in the tummy of James Blunt. A mortal combat of rotting meats. Let's see how piratey we can get James Blunt. I picture one leg and an eye patch within a month, so let's do that. And that was Riff's Just In. People who say worsh instead of wash. Well, I thought this was gonna start with worsh instead of worship, which is also a pet peeve of mine. When people just abbreviate words that don't, they're like, oh, I hate that position. You're like, what the fuck? How hard is adding on? You're too busy to go on, right? They're like, oh, this is just such a sitch. You're like, situation. It's a situation. I'm in the middle of such a sitch. Situation. Who's too busy for this shit? Right? Why can't I just walk around doing that with everything I say? Hey, more, want, you, weekend? Right? Can't I just do that? What's wrong? I'm too busy. I have too much on my plate. I don't have too much on my plate. Too much on my plate. Right? Oh, time is money. I'm sorry. But people do that. People will be like, oh, I'm going to go to the church and worship. It's like, oh, let him know I ordered lightning for you. Hurry. But people who do say worship instead of wash, I pick up on that. Yeah, there are people. They're like, oh, I was worshiping my car, You're like, huh? Just giving it a worship. There's other stuff that my writing partner, Evan, there's certain words he'll say where I'm like, huh? He'll just say, he says, parentheses. And I never correct him, but I'm always like, hit the parentheses. It's like a thesis of parents. What is this? This is the parentheses. Our thesis statement is that we're going to be really good to you and give you a lot of stuff. That's parentheses, right? But yeah, fuck those people, right? I worship nothing but the worst. Hangover cures. Well, I think, part of the thing with a hangover is that you need to partially accept your fate. You've done this to yourself. You've put yourself in this position. So, there's no silver bullet that's going to get rid of what you're going through. So accept that, right? Hydration, very good. I find, and again, this is for a weekend activity, not during your work week if you're working, whatever. Marijuana takes the edge off. 2 hits a pot will at least, it's like if you're a suffering animal, What would you rather? I mean, would you rather suffer, or would you rather like a doctor be like, poof, and you're like, ugh, and then you wake up and you're like, ooh, my butt's better. You'd rather that, you know? And that's sort of what weed does. Weed is sort of like self-tranking yourself, and then you just wake up like an hour later like, well, I'm not dying any longer, you know? You just take 2 hits of the bowl, and then it's like, oh, to yourself. And you're like, oh, I should lay down after I eat this handful of Ruffles. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, my head doesn't feel like an axe is being put through it anymore. Hair of the dog I've never understood. Hair of the dog is delaying, you know, when you drink what you were drinking the night before the next day. I think that was just an alcoholic trying to convince us to all be alcoholics with him. You know? Just like, man, Ted, I'm so hungover. He's like, well, you know what you need? Some rest, an egg sandwich. Now you need more vodka. Well, I don't know. It's like 9:30 a.m. Well, you ever hear hair of the dog? I've heard of a dog's hair. What is his hair of the dog? Well, what does that mean? Well, it'd be like if a dog was sick and then he ate his own hair. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what you need, more vodka, because that's what you had last night. So your solution to the alcohol poisoning that I've just given myself is to further poison yourself. And again, the angle is, well, alcohol poisoning is like a circle, right? So you start off, you're fine, shit-faced, hammered, fucked up, not feeling good, next day, hungover. Bam, bring yourself back. Great. Okay, well, good. I know who has vodka. That's gin, fuckface. I'm so sorry, I don't know my spirits. I do, the Holy Ghost. All right, well, have a good worsh. Sure. Fair. Most attractive accent. That's a good one. I don't know. I would say the most attractive, I mean, it's probably Italian or French or Boston. That's a sexy accent. Isn't it? Just a hot accent, right? Nothing like getting down with a girl from Boston, man. Woo! Right? Dude, take your fucking pants off and I'm going to suck your cock. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. Dude, try to put it in one of the 2 holes. Figure it out. Yummy. Right? That's some romantic speak right there. Right? Don't worry, you can finish inside of me. My boyfriend's gone all weekend. Yes. Aphrodisiac. No, I would say French. French, maybe. You know, it's impossible. I don't know what to tell you. We're a particular breed. It's you know, it's a little phlegmy, right? Sure. Right? But that's attractive. Saliva, getting the pheromones out there. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe the French have figured out a way to sort of velociraptor pheromones out in the world just by being like, and you're like, why am I so attracted to you? Oh. You know, you react like a cartoon character smelling a pie cooling on a windowsill. Float off, you know? Yeah, so, or Italian, again, yeah. Certainly not Russian. Oh, put it in deep. Maybe I jerk you off in car that don't work. Maybe if you come hard enough, we make bread. You know? So, yeah. Certainly not American. Sorry, it's not. It isn't.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Ugh.
Maybe we can go out and get some drinks together.
Ugh. Give me a little, maybe we can go out and get some drinks together. I'm in love. J'adore. Bulldogs. Amazing or breeding error? Well, let's be honest. From error comes greatness at times, right? Error has brought us many things, you know? So Bulldogs, yes, I think when you would, like, if you were to go, if God ran Shark Tank and that's how life was created, you're not going to have the best pitch with Bulldog. I'm not going to lie, right? You know, they're probably like, you're going to walk in and God's going to be like, and what is this you have here? And you're like, well, God, I'm very excited today to present to you my blueprint for the Bulldog. And he's like, why is it so short? Well, it's very short because I didn't want to use all the skin to stretch out and make the dog long or tall, I sort of smushed it in like it was a microwaved marshmallow. Okay. And why would you do that? This dog is funny. Not really what I'm after with life on the planet Earth. All right, proceed. Well, other exciting features are this dog gets extremely out of breath. That's a plus? Yes. And why? He just can't handle it, I guess. He's just, every time he walks, he's like, you know? That's it. He just goes, No, and he's drooling a ton. He's what? Saliva is just coming out of his mouth. It's like a pool in a truck bed. Sorry, so this is a short, fat dog with breathing issues who slobbers everywhere. Yes. I'm not sure what the upside is. He can ride skateboards. Oh, now that I like. Yes, yeah, for some reason they can ride skateboards. All right. You can do American and French, and that's it. That's a deal, God. I will take that deal. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to be on the God tank. Thank you so much. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, they're freak, but there are little freaks. You know? We love them. They're great. Again, there's not a lot of breeds of dog. If I see in public, I'll pet. Bulldog is among them. However, before I pet a bulldog, I will do a hand washing area scan. You know, I'll be like, oh, a bulldog, can I pet it? Where's the bathroom? There isn't one? Take care. But if there is, I'm like, oh, he's a good boy. And then you just go wash your arms like a surgeon because you're covered in hairy spit. That's the only dog that really produces that consistently. Spit with hairs in it, where you look like a surgeon who just like pulled out a knot of hair out of someone. You're like, yes, success. We got the hair out of the elephant's anus. Okay. Amish Rumspringer. Okay, so Rumspringer, which I believe is the pronunciation they don't like. Rumspringer for the Amish is basically a time when, as an Amish person, as an Amish teenager, really, you have the choice of whether to stay in the church, I guess leave the church, but before you decide to leave the church, you have your Rumspringer, which is basically where you get to go off. It's quite a loophole, where you get to go off and kind of do whatever the fuck you want in the real world that they've been shielding you for your entire life. And then you get to compare everything to beards and wood. And those are your options. You can either go have everything you want, or weird hats, beard, and wood. Those are your options. And so what happens is, a lot of times, kids who go on Rumspringer, they're crazy. They go crazy. Like, they're encapsulating a full lifetime of partying into a finite amount of time. Like, I had when I was 18, I had partied a lot, so I was ready to experiment a little bit more. I'd been conditioning myself with cigarettes, with shots, with marijuana, with hallucinogens. I was ready to kind of expand. These Rumspringer kids, it's like the third night, and they're like, what do you mean you're out of crack? Well, I need it. It's like, whoa, dude, you were building barns last week, And now they're like, the pipe's clogged. But that's what happens. That's the deal you make. And then some of them leave. Yeah, for sure. Some of them are like, yeah, this is way better. But others don't fight through that hangover. Where they're like, I just miss mom and dad. Because you don't get to go keep seeing your mother and father. So you're basically choosing sex, partying, freedom versus mom and dad, who have told me very explicitly, God does not like my partying ways. So there you go. You go off. Now, if I was Amish, I would by the way, Amish, that does sound like an abbreviated word. Are they Amishkapalian? Oh, they're Amish. They're Amish. But if I was Amish, I would kill Rumspringer. Man, it would be 2 hours. I'd be drunk with a stinky pinky. It would be go time. I'd be in the bathroom like, they sell condoms in here? Boy, Earth is magical. Right? You've never seen anything else. I would fall hard and fast. I'd be getting married within a week. You conflate it all. Or that's what you do. You just party for 3 weeks in Vegas, get married, and then you just go, well, I'm sorry, I'm going back to a place where you can't go. Being Amish on Rumspringer is the best breakup excuse possible, right? Yeah, I had a lot of fun. But you're leaving? Yeah. Because we have differences? Nah, just because I'm going to go back to a town where you can't go. Take care. Bye, Allie. Bye. You know? All right. Next. Dry dreams. This is so good. So good. Yes. You've bested me on this one. Dry dreams. Yeah. I mean, that's how we should frame it. We really should frame it like that. For whatever reason, throughout our lives and adolescence, we've framed it as wet dreams, and that's the bad one. You know? You don't know what happened, but while your brain was on vacation, it did some screwing, and now your underpants are done for. Right? Yeah, it's a shame. It's always a double-edged sword when you wake up from a wet dream. You're like, oh my God, I fucked Angelina Jolie. Oh my God, I have to do laundry. Looks like someone flung rubber cement on my penis and boxers. And then if you have a wet dream early in the night, not a lot of people will tell you this, but I'll open up. If you have a wet dream early in the night, you wake up the next day and you've like glued your cock to your shorts. You're just like, owie! You're like skin's coming off you like a snake. You're like, ow, 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 ow! You know? But yeah, what we should be talking about is the dry dreams. That is the problem. I am a sufferer of dry dreams. I would go as far as to say that most nights I've slept, I've not woken up wet. Most nights I go to bed hopeful that I'll wake up soaking there, and my mind has let me down again. Instead of taking me to an orgy where I could put it in all the holes I want and finish all over, instead my mind decided to dream that I was running down a hill away from a rock. Now, if the rock had some sort of hole or vagina, who knows? Maybe we could have made lemonade out of lemons, but here we are, dry again. The only thing I can hope is that tonight when I go to sleep, my body, and mainly my balls, I'm looking in your direction, will step up and do the right thing and jerk me off with my mind. Because that's what a wet dream is. It's the connection between your penis and your brain. And it's when your brain finally decides to take that little ridge in the middle and let you titty fuck it. And that's what makes my story so tough and so relatable to all the men who suffer from dry dreams. Let's make dry dreams a thing of the past. Please, please. When the pillow hits our head, let us wake up in the waterbed. Please, please. All I want it to look like when I wake up is that a ghost flew through my crotch. Please, please donate to my cause. Help us wetten our dreams again. I know Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. Well, I had a wet dream. I had a wet dream that all my dreams would end in jism. That someday all my sheets will need to be cleaned. I had a wet dream that I would never wake up dry again. I don't mean to get so emotional. I should probably save as much fluid as I can for the evening's jaunt, if you know what I'm saying. Great suggestion. The Queen using Zoom. That's a great suggestion, too. So I'm guessing you're pimping me into an impression. You want to see me as the Queen using Zoom. Okay. All right. Hello? Hello? I don't see anybody. Hello? Hello? I don't see anybody. It says to click to allow. Click to allow. Allow. Do I agree to share my video and audio? Agree to share audio. Agree to share video. Yeah. Oh, look, a bunch of people. Hello. 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 Oh. Do you want to see my corgis? How do they say yes? Oh, unmute them. Yes. Do you want to see my corgis? Hello. Hello. I don't see them. Hello. Oh, bugger. It says I've been kicked off. Oh, bastard. Well, that was quite a big disappointment. Shall we go eat the bones of children? Yes. Oh, I'm still on. Hello. Hello. Exorcism. Yes. Fun. Wouldn't it be great to be at one? Well, it just seems like the best. I'd never really watched any soap operas until one summer when I was a kid. There was one woman who was possessed by a demon. And my brother was like, dude, Days of Our Lives is really good. And I was like, who are you? And he's like, it's really good right now. This woman's possessed. And then he put it on, and it was this woman like, Nosferatasha. That's what I love. Like, I would love to be at an exorcism. Talk about popcorn. I'd be like, I hope I don't get it on her. No. Oh, can I wipe my buttery finger on her, or is she a demon still? You know? Like, it's great. What a great, like, to be there, to get to see the whole transformation. I mean, an exorcism is like a soul colonic, right? It's just like, get the darkness out. I love it. I love it. I love it. It would be great. If it was real, it would be great. Because they always have the crazy voice, you know? You're like, Samantha? She's like, Nosferasha, to Samantha, Nasfaranga, tika pa. And you're like, okay, she's speaking demon. She's 100% demon. Put your translation app next to her. Nasferasha. Yeah, she said, no, she's going to eat your heart, Ted. Wow, what a bitch. We got to get this thing out of her. You know? And then it's amazing the things that they respond to, these demons inside. They've housed themselves in people, but they don't want to cross or water nearby. Their head's going to spin and they're going to puke. Right? Boy, talk about a good feeling, though, when you get a demon out of you. You know? You thought you felt better after, like, diarrhea? Imagine getting a demon out of you. What's that like? There have been times where you, like, you know, you have diarrhea and then you're done and you're like, oh my God, I need a cigarette. Like, it's just a very crazy experience you got. Imagine that with, like, a demon in your soul. Right? They'd have to keep wiping your soul forever. They'd be like, still more gunk. I don't know what to tell you. You know? You just feel fucking great after that. Woo! I feel 10 pounds lighter and not rude. Isn't that great? Yeah, I would love to be a part of it. I would even love to have one housing inside of me, you know? Give him a little run. I don't mind. A demon could take me for a couple days, have a spin, whatever. It's like a Rumspringer. You know? Let him go have a little dance. Right? It's got to be weird when you notice that the person you're like your spouse is possessed. You know? When you're like, honey, these eggs are a little runny. She's like, well, now first. Okay, well, maybe get pasteurized. I don't know what to tell you. Well, if that shoots vomit everywhere. All right, well, why don't you go lay down? You seem a little unwell. I'm not your wife. Okay. All right, baby, I got to go to work, so I'll see you in a little bit. Yeah, if you want, I could pick up Chinese tonight. Chinese? All right, well, maybe we'll do Thai. We'll Grubhub when I get back. All right, well, you lay down. You seem a bit crabby, and I don't want to ask you that question you don't like, but is it your time of the month?
It's my time of the century.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird, you know? So, yeah. Monty Don. Monty Don. Great suggestion. Monty Don, if you don't know who he is, he's an English gardener. Boy, I'm going to tee off on this subject. He's an English gardener who has found great peace through gardening. Apparently, he used to suffer from severe depression, figured out that plants were his connector, and he just started living in gardens and working on gardens and being very creative in gardens. And it's just resulted in a man who seems to have great peace. One of his shows that I got introduced to, the gateway show that I got introduced to was Big Dreams, Small Spaces, right? But Monty Don is just such a calming person, you know? Like, he's not just like, right, we're going to get this garden in order today. No. He's just like, now do you understand? Your garden is actually your paradise. It's one of the most important spots you'll ever find. Just a comforting man in his 60s. He's got a little fro going on, you know. Loves to get his hands dirty, you know. But when he meets with the people to talk about their garden, that's the best. Because you got these English people who are like, well, Monty, I don't know what I reckon, but I've decided that I would love to have some more green in the garden. And he goes, well, Samantha, that's an absolutely astonishing dream. And I cannot wait to help you accomplish that. Right? But he talks so, you know, you've got to get your hands in the soil. I really think that if you can pull this off, you can have a garden that's not only going to provide you with some happiness, but all of your guests will also bask in its euphoria. Right? Monty Don. Just a beautiful soul. And then so I was talking to my mother. I'm like, hey, do you know who Monty Don is? Do I know who Monty Don is? Of course I know who Monty Don is. What do I look like? I said, well, how do you know Monty Don? Oh, he's a big celebrity here. I said, Monty Don is still a big... Oh, yes. You know, your grandmother had quite a crush on Monty Don. And it's true. Women have big crushes on him. I'm telling you, he's like 63 years old. But he walks over to houses and people act like George Clooney just walked in to till their soil. You know? Just bunch of... Everybody stuff. Oh, I can't believe we've got Monty Don in our garden. But the women, you know, they're like 70-year-old women who, oh, I can't believe I finally met Monty Don. Oh, he's as beautiful as I thought he would be. Oh, I just can't believe I'm finally getting a chance to be up close and personal with Monty Don. Now, Diane, I heard you talking about me, and it seems like you're very turned on. Oh, Monty, yes, I am, but I don't know what to do about it because I just think you're so great. Well, what if I were to just get my hands dirty for a minute in your garden? Oh, are you talking about my special place? Yes, your woman's pudding. Oh, Monty, that sounds... My husband's upstairs. We can do it near the ferns that I planted 2 seasons ago that have finally blossomed in the back of your garden. That's an area where I could easily give you the business. Well, Monty, I don't know... Come on, let's have a shag. Well, you are very good with your hands. And look at how dirty they are under my nails. That's not helping sell me. Come on. Let me find your roots. I'll plant a great garden for you and your family for the spring. That's Monty Don. He's the best. My buddy Luke has a Monty Don shirt. It's awesome. Watch Monty Don. It's a great hangover show. If you're ever hungover, put on Big Dreams, Small Spaces. You'll be glad you did. Scavenger hunts. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't thought about a scavenger hunt in about 20 years. I mean, they're for kids. Let's be honest. They're for 2 groups. They're for kids, and they're for bachelorette and bachelor parties. That's it, right? And the kids one seem fun. They're kids. And the grown-up ones seem crazy. You seem like a lunatic on the street just looking for random shit, you know? You never really have a good time when you're part of the participant on the street in the scavenger hunt for other people, right? They're never like, hey, you seem cool, come with us. They're like, will you take your shirt off and put lipstick on your nipples? You're like, who the fuck are you? What did you just say? Hurry, otherwise I don't get married. You're like, who are you? Can I see some identification before we do this? So frantic. I need to take 2 pictures of you, and one of them you got to lift your scrotum up and be like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, ma'am, I don't know you. The fuck are you talking about? You're on a bachelorette party covered in penises. I'm not going to be a part of this. Right? If you ever want to make friends with a scavenger hunt, you have to be at the last place they're going. Otherwise, you're dealing with cracked out people. You know? But at least people on crack are going to ask you for drugs or help or money. These people don't have that. They're like, will you play the violin real quick and then smash it over your head and then say that guy's your best friend and his name's Gus? You're like, no, ma'am, I'm having a fun time. I'm having a fine afternoon. Okay, we'll lick the dog's butt and then go, that's not my butt, into the camera. And then we get a point. It's like you're overwhelmed. It's this group mentality, too. You feel weird, you know? Like, they could get you to do most things. They'd come over and be like, okay, quick, smoke this angel dust. And then we get a clue. And you're like, okay. oh, fuck. Where are you guys going? They're like, bye, never see you again. You're like, wait, where are you going? Brian, part of the scavenger hunt. Wait, what? I was just helping you with your scavenger hunt, and now I'm not sure what's going on. His eyes. Something's wrong with his eyes. What do you mean something's wrong? Something's wrong with my eyes? What do you mean something's wrong with my eyes? Call 911. I didn't want to be a part of your stupid scavenger hunt. We were just kidding you. You're fine, dude. We just got a point. Yes! And you're like, oh, you sons of bitches. I thought I was tripping on angel dust. You did good. Yeah, never go on a scavenger hunt. Sleep deprivation. Well, yeah, I mean, sleep deprivation is technical torture. That's something they do, to torture people, sleep deprivation. Yeah, sleep deprivation is terrible. I mean, if you're talking about, like, sleep deprivation where someone's like, oh, I'm, like, sleep deprived. Like, yeah, that's tough. Like, so you need sleep, no doubt. But sleep deprivation is, like, pushing people to their actual limits of sanity in order to see, to get information out of them. But what kind of person is going to have good information for you 3 days later when you're not sleeping? I've stayed up for 2 nights in a row, and I literally started seeing rats. I'm not kidding, where there weren't. I would just hear, like, rats and, like, see rats, and I was just like, there's rats, That's Ritalin in high school. But I was like, there's rats, and I'd be like, it's cool. And then you'd, like, see, it's almost like when you're tripping, you don't want to tell someone what you saw, but you're just like, and you're like, Someone's like, why'd you look over there? You're like, no. They're like, you just went like that. You're like, and then it's like, and you're like, he's in the tree. What? Nothing about the tree and him. Yeah, but sleep deprivation fucks with you, but that's why it's technical torture. They really will, like, the stuff they do to torture you, make you crazy stupid. They try to drown you on land and then make you really tired. And they're like, that'll get him. That'll do it. I don't know. It's tough. Yeah, you need sleep. I don't sleep a lot. My sleep schedule is pretty irregular. But yeah, you need the shit, and they take it away from you. Not the U.S. government, because when the United States government is torturing, what we're actually doing is information gathering from the enemy, and that's fucking different because we're the world's police. Okay, thanks. Socialites. I mean, fuck. My opposite. Socialites, right? No, yeah. I mean, what? Who gives a shit? Anybody who's like a professional hanger-outer can get fucked. Anybody who's like, my job is to go to parties. It's like, ugh. Socialite is like terms like socialite and influencer, they're nothing. They should be called providing-less. They don't do anything. Like influencer and socialites. My job's to go to parties. I'm a socialite. And what's your job? My job is to, like, make people want to do certain things that I do. I'm an influencer. You ever notice that the world went to shit the second that we stopped paying attention to what happened in people's minds and their thoughts and started paying attention to their physical appearance? The second that you start taking the words of beautiful people as the words of smart people, that's where everything kind of fell apart. Right? Like, look at Einstein. You think Einstein would have followers on Instagram now? Only to laugh at him. But people would be like, if you would go to Einstein, he'd probably be one of those people who's verified with 5,000 followers. You'd be like, who's this wacky-haired guy? You'd be like, actually, I'm coming up with some very important things for the future. You'd be like, man, no, unfollow. No, but, like, it's helping me. Yeah, but you got weird hair and a dumb mustache. What are you, 40 pounds overweight? Yuck. I like my scientists hot. With butt implants. That's what I like. Botox. Right? So now we no longer take the words of smart people based on their brains. We take it on the people who have the biggest followings. And how do you get followings? Well, you're beautiful. You're attractive. It's pretty much it's a serviceless industry. And that's what we pay attention to. We pay attention to those people. The second that we stopped listening to scientists and started focusing and fixating on Kardashians, am I the only one who noticed that things took a turn for the shit? But that's what happens, We don't give a shit. It's all about that. That's all that matters. It's just popularity and stuff, right? I don't know what E equals MC squared actually means, but I know it's important. And that's why I'd like you to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Hi, I'm an idiot who provides very little to society and the world. But won't you do me the honor of following me so that you can see my stand-up clips and some artwork people have made on my behalf? Am I contributing stuff? No, not really. Why do I do it? Because everybody else is. Does that make me a lemming? Yes. But actually, when you research the history of lemmings, you find out that they weren't actually jumping, and that was not a seasonal suicide that they went through at all. Does that make me smart? No. Can I prove it? Of course not. At Reynolds Gareth, all social media. Follow me. I'm as hot as your scientist and as smart as your Kardashian. Thank you.
His name is Gareth, and he riff spits. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gariffs. His name is Gareth, and he riff spits. His name is Gareth. His name is Gareth, hence why it's Gareth.